girl left by her mother in the rain. But a millionaire businessman saw her and stopped his car. Michael Thompson felt the weight of his company's problems pressing on his shoulders as he drove through the streets of New York City on a rainy afternoon. His mind was filled with numbers, contracts that needed signing, and a crucial meeting that could make or break his business. That's when he spotted the girl huddled against the brick wall of a narrow alley, clutching a soaked blue backpack as if it were her only treasure in the world. Michael hit the brakes instinctively, something inside him revolting at the sight of a child alone in the storm. "Sweetheart, where are your parents?" he called out from the car window, but she only looked at him with suspicion and shrank further against the wall. Michael parked and stepped out of the vehicle, feeling the cold rain soak his $3,000 Italian suit. The girl couldn't have been more than 8 years old, with dark brown hair plastered to her face by the rain, wearing worn-out sneakers that had seen better days. "Don't be afraid, I just want to help," he said, approaching slowly. "What's your name?" "Emily," she murmured, wiping her nose with the sleeve of her light blue shirt. "My mum said she'd be right back, but it's been a long time." "How long have you been here?" Michael asked, feeling a strange pang in his chest. "I don't know." "The rain started when she left." Emily looked up at the dark sky. "She said it would just be a few minutes, that I should wait right here." Michael glanced around. This wasn't a safe area for a child to be alone, especially with the storm growing worse. His phone buzzed insistently in his pocket, but for the first time in years he ignored a work call. "Let's get out of this rain," he said, taking off his jacket and draping it over the girl. "There's a bakery right on the corner. We can wait for your mum inside." Emily hesitated for a moment, but the cold and hunger won out. She stood up, gripping her backpack tightly, and walked beside Michael to the shop. The bakery was simple, filled with the comforting smell of fresh bread and coffee. Michael ordered hot chocolate for Emily and coffee for himself, sitting at a table near the window where they could see the street. "Does your mum usually take this long?" he asked, watching as the girl cupped the mug with both small hands to warm herself. "No, she's never left me alone before." Emily bit her lower lip. But today she was really nervous, talking on the phone the whole time. Michael felt his instincts as a father kick in. He had a daughter, Madison, but he hadn't seen her in weeks because of work. His ex-wife always complained that he put business before family. "Do you remember anything your mum said on the phone?" Michael tried, sensing there was more to the situation. Emily shook her head, but then pulled a crumpled piece of paper from her jeans pocket. She wrote this and put it in her bag, but it fell when she was running. The girl handed him the paper. "I don't think she even noticed she lost it." Michael unfolded the paper and saw an address hastily scribbled along with a time 3:30 p.m. He checked his wristwatch. It was already past 5. "Emily, do you know this address?" He showed her the paper. "No, Mum's never taken me there." She took another sip of hot chocolate. But when she got the call, she was really happy. She said our lives were going to change. Michael's phone rang again. This time he answered, recognizing his assistant's number. "Mr. Thompson, where are you? The meeting with the Japanese investors was cancelled because you didn't show up." Jessica's voice was tense. "Jessica, something unexpected came up. Reschedule for tomorrow," Michael said, watching Emily stir her hot chocolate with a sad expression. "But sir, they traveled especially for this meeting. They're threatening to end negotiations if—" "I said to reschedule, Jessica." Michael interrupted and hung up the phone. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, take a moment to leave a like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us who are just starting out. Now, continuing. Emily looked out the window, searching for any sign of her mother. Her clothes were still damp, and she shivered from time to time, more from nerves than from the cold. "Emily, can you tell me where you live? Maybe we can call someone from your family," Michael suggested. "Mom always said not to tell strangers where I live," she replied, but then sighed. "But you seem nice. We live in the Bronx, in a tiny apartment, just me and her." Michael knew the area. It was a working-class neighborhood on the south side of New York City, at least an hour's drive from there. What kind of mother would leave her daughter alone so far from home? "And your father?" he asked carefully. "I don't have one," Emily said simply. "It's just me and Mommy, that's why she works so much to take care of me." The rain continued to pour outside, and it was starting to get dark. Michael felt a growing unease. Something was wrong with this situation, and he couldn't just walk away and leave the girl there. "What kind of work does your mum do?" he pressed. "She cleans offices at night, and in the morning she works at a diner." Emily swung her legs, which didn't reach the floor. "Sometimes she gets so tired she falls asleep at the kitchen table." Michael felt a tightness in his chest. He complained about the stress of running a company, but at least he slept in a comfortable bed every night. He pictured this woman struggling alone to raise a child, working double shifts. "Emily, what's your mom's full name?" he asked. "Jennifer Wilson," the girl answered. "Everyone calls her Jen." Michael picked up the phone and called Jessica again. "Jessica, I need you to find a number for a Jennifer Wilson who works cleaning offices and also at a diner, around the Bronx area." "Mr. Thompson, with all due respect, but we have a crisis at the company and you're looking for—" "It's a family emergency," Michael lied, "and cancel all my appointments for today." After hanging up, Michael noticed Emily watching him curiously. "Are you looking for my mum?" she asked, a hint of hope in her voice. "I'm trying to help," Michael smiled. "I have a daughter about your age. If she were lost, I'd want someone to help her too." "What's her name?" "Madison. She's 10. "Is she pretty?" Emily smiled for the first time since Michael had found her. "Very pretty. And very smart, like you." Michael felt a pang of guilt, realizing it had been weeks since he'd spent quality time with his own daughter. The phone rang. It was Jessica with information. "Mr. Thompson, I found a Jennifer Wilson who works for a contracted cleaning service. She works the night shift at a commercial building on 5th Avenue. As for the diner, she works mornings at Paul's Bakery in Williamsburg." Michael wrote down the details and thanked her. He called the bakery first. "Hello, is Paul there? I'm looking for Jennifer Wilson who works there." "Jen? She didn't come in today," said a tired voice. "Called this morning saying she had an emergency. Really unusual, she never misses work." "An emergency? Did she say what kind?" "No, just said it was something that could change her and her daughter's lives. Got all mysterious about it." Michael thanked them and hung up, feeling the mystery deepen. What could be so important that it would make a responsible mother abandon her daughter on a busy street? "Did you talk to Mommy?" Emily asked anxiously. "Not yet, but I'm on the right track." Michael tried to sound confident. "Did she leave you on the street to go somewhere specific?" "She said a lady had called offering a really good job, one that paid a lot of money." Emily fiddled with her backpack strap. "But it had to be today, or the opportunity would pass." "And why didn't she take you with her?" "She said it would be quick, that the lady didn't like kids at work." Emily seemed sad. "I asked to go, but she said it was better if I waited." Michael looked again at the paper with the address. He decided he needed to investigate personally, but first he needed a safe place for Emily. "Emily, would you like to meet my daughter Madison?" he asked. "Really?" The girl's eyes lit up. "I'll call her. You two can get to know each other while I look for your mom." Michael called his ex-wife, Christine. "Michael, what a surprise," her voice was cold. "I thought you'd forgotten you had a daughter." "Christine, I need a favor. It's an emergency." Michael quickly explained the situation. "You found a lost child and want me to take care of her while you play hero?" Christine sighed. "Sometimes I wonder if you do these things to avoid real responsibilities." "Please, Christine, just for a few hours." "Fine, bring her here. Madison's home anyway, with nothing to do because her father doesn't have time for her." Michael swallowed the criticism. He knew he deserved it. In the car on the way to Christine's house, Emily was quiet, watching the streets of New York City through the window. Michael's car was luxurious, with leather seats and air conditioning, a stark contrast to the girl's reality. "Uncle Michael," she said suddenly, "do you think my mom's okay?" "I'm sure she is," Michael replied, though he wasn't so certain. "Sometimes adults get delayed for reasons they don't expect. She always says we're a team, just the two of us against the world." Emily hugged her backpack, but today she seemed worried about other things. Michael arrived at Christine's house, an elegant home in an upscale neighborhood. Madison appeared at the door, curious to meet the girl her father had found. "Hi, I'm Madison," the girl said, a little shy at first. "I'm Emily," she replied, still holding her backpack. That's a cool backpack, Madison smiled. Want to see my room? I have lots of games. Michael watched the two girls getting to know each other and felt warmth in his chest. How long had it been since he'd seen Madison so excited to meet someone new? Christine, thanks for agreeing, he said to his ex-wife. Just don't take too long, Michael, and I hope you know what you're doing. She looked at Emily with a maternal expression. The girl seemed scared. I'll find her mother, Michael promised. Before leaving, he knelt to Emily's height. I'm going to look for your mom now, okay? Stay here with Madison. You two will have fun. Do you promise you'll bring her back? Emily held onto his suit sleeve. I promise, Michael said. Though he knew it was a promise he wasn't sure he could keep. In the car, Michael entered the address from the paper into the GPS. It was a commercial area downtown. As he drove, he couldn't stop thinking about Emily's worried expression and the similarities between her and Madison. They were the same age, but lived completely different lives. The address led to an old building in downtown New York City, housing several small businesses. Michael checked the names at the entrance, but none made sense as a place where a cleaner would be hired for a special opportunity. He decided to talk to the doorman, a middle-aged man chewing gum and reading a sports newspaper. Good afternoon. I'm looking for a woman who was supposed to come here today around 3:30. Jennifer Wilson. Oh, the young lady who came for the interview. The doorman nodded. She went up to the 12th floor, room 1204. Is she still there? No, she came down about an hour ago. She seemed a bit shaken. Michael felt his heart race. If Jennifer had left an hour ago, why hadn't she come back to get Emily? Do you know what kind of company is on the 12th floor? No idea. The doorman shrugged. They moved in recently. Before that, it was an accounting office. Michael went up to the 12th floor. The door to room 1204 had only a number, no company name. He knocked, but no one answered. He tried turning the knob and the door opened. The room was empty, with just a table and 2 chairs. Papers were scattered on the floor, and there was a sense that someone had left in a hurry. Michael picked up a few of the papers and was shocked by what he read. They were employment contracts, but not for a cleaning job. They were for full-time nannies, with clauses demanding total availability, and most shockingly, a clause stating the employee had to temporarily give up custody of their own children to fully dedicate themselves to the hiring family. A chill ran down Michael's spine. Someone had tried to separate Jennifer from Emily using the promise of a well-paying job. But who would do that? And why? His phone rang. It was an unknown number. Hello? Michael Thompson? A nervous female voice asked. Yes. Who's speaking? My name is Jennifer Wilson. I'm calling because they found your business card in my purse. Her voice was choked up. Do you know my daughter, Emily? Jennifer, where are you? Emily is with me. She was alone in the rain for hours. Michael felt relief mixed with anger. I know, she began to cry. I made a terrible mistake. I thought I was doing what was best for her, but... Where are you now? Michael interrupted. I'm at a police station. I was tricked, Michael. Someone scammed me, and I lost all the money I had saved for Emily's treatment. Treatment? What treatment? Emily has a heart condition. Nothing serious, but she needs expensive medical care. I've been saving for months, Jennifer sobbed. When I got that call promising a job that would pay for everything in 1 month, I thought it was the answer to my prayers. Michael closed his eyes, feeling this mother's pain. He had assumed she was irresponsible, but in reality, she was desperate to care for her daughter. Which police station are you at? He asked. Downtown, near the building where I went for the fake interview, she said. Michael, I don't even have money to get home, and I don't know how I'll explain this to Emily. Don't worry about that now, I'll come get you, Michael said. And Jennifer, Emily is being well taken care of. She's playing with my daughter. Thank you so much, she murmured. I don't know how to thank you. Michael left the building with his mind racing. This wasn't just a common scam. Someone had specifically targeted Jennifer, knowing her financial situation and Emily's medical condition. But who would have an interest in separating a mother from her daughter like this? Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now, continuing. At the police station, Michael found Jennifer sitting on a bench, looking like she'd been crying for hours. She was a young woman, probably no older than 30, with tired but pretty features. When she saw him, she stood quickly. "Michael?" she asked hesitantly. "It's me," he confirmed. "How did you get my card?" "It was in my purse, but I'd never seen it before." Jennifer seemed confused. The officer said maybe someone put it there. Michael felt another disturbing puzzle piece fall into place. Someone had planted his business card in Jennifer's purse. That meant he was being watched, or that someone knew he would find Emily. "Tell me exactly what happened today," Michael asked. Jennifer took a deep breath before beginning. "I got a call this morning. A woman introduced herself as the director of a high-end domestic staffing agency. She said there was a very wealthy family looking for a housekeeper and that someone had recommended me. Do you know anyone who would make that recommendation?" "No, but the woman knew details about my life. She knew I had a daughter, that I worked 2 jobs, even about Emily's heart condition." Jennifer trembled. "She said the family was willing to pay very well, enough for me to get Emily treated at a private clinic." "And then you went to the interview?" "Yes, but first she told me to leave Emily somewhere nearby because the interview would be quick and the employer didn't like children in the office." Jennifer wiped her eyes. "I should have been suspicious, but the promise of so much money blinded me." "What happened at the interview?" "When I got there was an elegant woman who said she was the employer. She asked me a lot of questions about my experience and then said I was hired." Jennifer shook her head. "But then she said I had to pay a fee for uniforms and training before starting." "And you paid?" "I gave her all my $2,000 in savings. She said it would be deducted from my first paycheck." Jennifer covered her face with her hands. "By the time I realized it was a scam, it was too late. The woman disappeared and I was left alone in the room." Michael processed the information. This was too elaborate for a common scam. Someone had studied Jennifer's situation, knew about Emily, and had planted his card as a way to... what? To make sure he found the girl. "Jennifer, are you sure you've never seen me before?" Michael asked. "I'm sure. Why do you ask?" "Because I have a feeling someone wanted me to find Emily." Michael showed the business card. "And wanted the 2 of you to meet me." "But why? Who would do that?" Michael was starting to suspect, but he needed more information before accusing anyone. "Let's go get Emily," he said. "Then we'll talk more calmly." On the way to Christine's house, Michael watched Jennifer in the rearview mirror. She was nervous, fidgeting with her hands and looking out the window as if expecting something bad to happen at any moment. "Jennifer, can you tell me more about Emily's condition?" he asked. "She was born with a minor heart irregularity. Nothing that stops her from living a normal life, but she needs regular checkups and medication." Jennifer sighed. "The treatment at the public hospital is good but slow. At a private clinic it would be faster and more effective." "Are you raising her alone?" "Since I found out I was pregnant," Jennifer said simply. "Her father disappeared when I told him about the pregnancy." Michael felt a pang of recognition. He was failing as a father too, though for different reasons. "And you don't have any other family?" "My parents died when I was young. I have an older sister, but she lives out of state and has her own problems." Jennifer looked at her hands. "It's just me and Emily." When they arrived at Christine's house, Michael noticed Jennifer's reaction to the luxurious home. She seemed intimidated, smoothing her clothes and checking if she looked presentable. "Don't worry," Michael said. "Christine will understand the situation." Emily came running when she saw her mother, and Jennifer hugged her as if she hadn't seen her in years, not just a few hours. "Mommy, you took so long." Emily complained, but she was smiling. "Madison is really nice. She has lots of dolls and books." "I'm sorry, sweetheart. Mommy had a problem, but it's all sorted out now." Jennifer kissed her daughter's forehead, avoiding looking at Michael. Madison approached timidly. "Emily, your mum is really pretty," she said. "And she came from far away to get you." "She did," Emily smiled. "Now we're going home." Christine walked up to the group, watching the interaction between mother and daughter with a thoughtful expression. "Michael, can I talk to you for a minute?" she asked, gesturing toward the living room. Michael followed her, leaving Jennifer and the girls talking by the entrance. "This whole story is very strange," Christine said quietly. A mother doesn't abandon her child on the street to go to a job interview. She was tricked, Christine. Someone scammed her. Someone? Or are you being too naive? Christine crossed her arms. Michael, you have a habit of wanting to save everyone, but sometimes people take advantage of that. Are you suggesting she lied? I'm suggesting you be more careful. Christine glanced out the window at Jennifer and Emily. That woman is desperate, it's obvious, and desperate people sometimes make questionable choices. Michael was about to argue when Madison appeared in the room. Dad, Emily said she and her mom have nowhere to sleep tonight because they lost their bus money. Madison looked worried. Can she stay here? Michael and Christine exchanged glances. That complicated things even more. Madison, go back with them, okay? Said Christine. Daddy and I are talking. When Madison left, Christine sighed. Michael, you can't bring strangers into our family, she said, especially with this whole fishy story. They're not strangers. They're people who need help, Michael defended, and our daughter is showing more compassion than both of us combined. Compassion is one thing, Michael. Irresponsibility is another. Christine pointed toward the room where Jennifer and the girls were. You've known this woman for a few hours. You know nothing about her beyond what she's told you. Michael knew Christine was partly right, but something inside him insisted Jennifer was telling the truth. Maybe it was the way she looked at Emily, or the genuine gratitude in her eyes. I'm going to help them, Christine, with or without your approval, said Michael. Then you'll take full responsibility if anything goes wrong, Christine replied. And don't come crying later if you find out you've been fooled. Michael returned to where Jennifer and the girls were. Emily and Madison were sitting on the floor, playing with some toys Madison had brought from her room. Jennifer, where will you stay tonight? Michael asked. I don't know yet, she admitted. I used the bus money to pay for a cab to the police station. I'll try to borrow some from a neighbor. Michael made a decision. You'll stay at my apartment tonight, he said. Tomorrow we'll figure things out. Michael, I can't accept that, Jennifer protested. You've already done so much for us. Emily, would you like to see where I live? Michael turned to the girl. I have a really nice view of the city. Really? Emily's eyes lit up. Mommy, can we go? Jennifer looked at her daughter and then at Michael, clearly torn between pride and need. Please, Michael insisted. Just for one night. At Michael's apartment, an elegant penthouse with a city view, Emily was amazed by the nighttime skyline of New York City. It was as if she'd never seen the city from above before. Uncle Michael, do you live alone in such a big place? She asked, peering through the floor-to-ceiling window. I do, Michael replied, realizing for the first time how empty and cold the apartment felt. Jennifer was clearly uncomfortable, fidgeting with her hands and avoiding touching anything. Michael noticed and tried to put her at ease. Jennifer, relax. Consider this your home, he said. You can use the guest room. Michael, may I ask why you're doing this? She asked. You don't know me. You don't know Emily. Michael thought for a moment before answering. Because when I was a kid, I went through something similar, he said. My mother left me in a park and said she'd be right back. She never returned. Jennifer brought a hand to her chest, shocked. Michael, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I recognize the desperation in your eyes today, Michael continued. You didn't abandon Emily because you wanted to. You did what you thought was best for her. Still, I left her alone. I'm a terrible mother. Jennifer began to cry. No, you're not, Michael said firmly. You worked 2 jobs to take care of her. You saved money for her treatment. You were tricked by someone who took advantage of your motherly love. Emily, who had been listening, moved closer to her mother and hugged her. Mommy, you're the best mom in the world, she said. Uncle Michael is right. Michael smiled, watching mother and daughter embrace. But his mind was still focused on the mystery of who had orchestrated the whole situation. Jennifer, do you remember any other details about the woman who scammed you? He asked. She was elegant, well-dressed, blonde hair, light eyes, wore a big ring on her ring finger, Jennifer thought. And she had a different accent, like she wasn't from here in New York City. Michael felt a chill. The description reminded him of someone he knew, someone who would have reasons to complicate his life. Did she mention any name? He pressed. She said her name was Dr. Rebecca Taylor, Jennifer replied. Why? Do you know someone by that name? Michael didn't answer right away. Rebecca Taylor was Christine's maiden name, and the physical description matched his ex-wife perfectly. But why would Christine do something like this? What was the point of separating a mother and daughter just to bring them into his path? Michael decided not to share his suspicions yet. He needed more evidence before accusing Christine of something so elaborate and cruel. Just curious, Misao, he lied. Now let's rest. Tomorrow will be a long day. That night, Michael lay awake thinking about all the coincidences. The business card in Jennifer's bag, the scammer's description matching Christine, the fact that the fake interview address was near his office. In the morning, Michael woke up early and made breakfast for everyone. Emily was delighted by the variety of cereals and fruits he had at home, things that clearly weren't part of her usual routine. "Uncle Michael, you have so much extra food," she commented, eating a banana. At home, Mummy always divides everything just right to last the whole week. Michael felt a pang of guilt, thinking about all the waste he made while this family struggled for basics. "Emily, how about you help me stop wasting food?" he suggested. "You can teach me how to make the right portions." "Really?" she grinned. "I know how to do lots of things in the kitchen. Mommy taught me." Jennifer appeared in the kitchen, clearly embarrassed for sleeping in. "Sorry, Michael. I haven't slept that much in months," she said. "You needed the rest." Michael poured her coffee. "How are you feeling?" "Better, thank you." Jennifer accepted the cup. "But I still need to figure out how we'll get home and find a way to recover the money I lost. About that, I have a proposal." Michael took a deep breath. "How about you stay here a few more days while we investigate who scammed you?" "Michael, I can't take advantage of your kindness," Jennifer protested. "It's not kindness, it's self-interest," Michael said. "I believe whoever did this to you was trying to get to me in some way. So by helping you, I'm helping myself too." "How so?" Michael shared his suspicions about the coincidences, without yet mentioning that he suspected Christine. "You think someone used you to get to me?" Jennifer looked frightened. "But why?" "I don't know yet, but I'll find out," Michael promised. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now back to the story. That morning, Michael decided to go to the office to investigate further. He took Emily along, saying she could see where he worked. Jennifer stayed at the apartment, resting and organizing the few clothes they had in the backpack. At the office, Jessica greeted Michael with a worried expression. "Mr. Thompson, we need to talk about the meeting you missed yesterday," she said. "The Japanese investors are reconsidering." "Jessica, that'll have to wait," Michael replied. "I need you to do some discreet research for me." He asked Jessica to check if there were any records of a company using the name Rebecca Taylor or any variation recently registered downtown. Emily was fascinated by the office, especially the city view from the 30th floor. "Uncle Michael, you work in the clouds," she said, pressing her face against the window. "Sometimes it feels like it," Michael smiled. "Emily, would you like to see how a company works?" Michael spent the morning showing Emily the different departments, introducing her to the staff as a special consultant. The girl asked smart questions, and everyone was charmed by her genuine curiosity. During the tour, Michael had an idea. Emily had mentioned that Jennifer worked cleaning offices. What if he offered her a better job at his own company? "Jessica, does our company outsource cleaning?" he asked. "Yes, sir. We have a contract with Cleanmaster," Jessica confirmed. "What if we wanted to hire someone directly as a general services assistant?" "It's possible, sir. There are several roles that could be filled internally," Jessica said, looking intrigued. "Do you have someone in mind?" "Maybe," Michael said, glancing at Emily, who was coloring at his desk. Around noon, Jessica brought disturbing news. "Mr. Thompson, I found records of a temporary company called Taylor Consulting registered just last week," she said. "The address matches exactly where you were yesterday." "And the owner?" "The registration is under an accountant's name, but the legal representative listed is a Rebecca Taylor Wilson." Jessica showed him the documents. "And there's something even stranger." "What?" "The company was registered to last only 15 days. After that, it'll automatically dissolve." Jessica looked puzzled. "I've never seen anything like it." Michael felt he was getting closer to the truth. Someone had set up a shell company specifically to scam Jennifer and had used a variation of Christine's name. "Jessica, one more favor. Can you check if there are security cameras in the building where this company was operating?" "I can try, sir. But may I ask why all this investigation?" Michael glanced at Emily, who was focused on her drawing. "Because sometimes doing the right thing is more important than making money," he said. That afternoon, Michael returned to the apartment with Emily. Jennifer met them at the door, clearly anxious. "How did it go?" she asked. "Productive," Michael said. "We have leads on who scammed you." Michael told her about the shell company and the records Jessica had found. Jennifer was outraged. "Someone actually planned all this?" she asked. "But why use my name?" "I'm not entirely sure yet, but I have my suspicions." Michael hesitated before continuing. "Jennifer, the woman who tricked you, do you think you'd recognize her if you saw her again?" "Absolutely. Why?" Michael was about to show her a photo of Christine when his phone rang. It was Madison. "Dad, can I come over?" she asked. "I want to play more with Emily." "Of course, sweetheart. But you'll have to ask your mum to bring you." "Mum said she can't. She's busy with some weird stuff at the office." Madison sounded disappointed. "She's going through old papers and talking to herself." Michael felt an alarm go off in his mind. Christine digging through old papers right after what happened with Jennifer. "Madison, what kind of papers?" "I don't know, but I saw pictures of you two when you were married, and some stuff about the company," Madison said. "Can I take a cab there?" "No, honey, I'll come get you," Michael decided. It was a good chance to confront Christine. He explained the situation to Jennifer and asked her to stay with Emily. But before leaving, he showed her a photo of Christine on his phone. "Jennifer, is this the woman who scammed you?" Jennifer stared at the photo and paled. "Oh my God, Michael, it's her," she whispered. "But why would your ex-wife do this to me?" Michael felt a mix of anger and disappointment. Christine had really orchestrated all this, but why? "I'll find out," he promised. "Stay here with Emily, I'll be back soon." At Christine's house, Michael found the door open and Madison waiting in the living room with a small bag. "Dad," she ran to hug him. "Mom said I can sleep at your place tonight." "Where's your mom?" Michael asked. "In the office. She's been acting weird since yesterday." Madison looked worried. "She's been going through a bunch of papers and making calls." Michael went up to Christine's office and found her on the phone, speaking quietly. When she saw him, she quickly ended the call. "Michael, I'm glad you came to get Madison," she said, but there was nervousness in her voice. "Christine, we need to talk," Michael said seriously. "About what?" "About Rebecca Taylor." Michael watched her reaction. Christine tried to hide it, but he saw the flicker in her eyes. "I don't know what you're talking about," she lied. "Jennifer recognized you, Christine. She knows you're the one who scammed her." Michael stepped closer. "The question is, why?" Christine sighed and sat down, as if the weight of the situation was crushing her. "Do you really want to know?" she asked, bitterness in her voice. "I do. Because I wanted you to feel what I felt," Christine said. "I wanted you to know what it's like to be abandoned by someone who's supposed to protect you. What does that have to do with Jennifer and Emily? When I learned about your childhood, I understood why you're so obsessed with work." Christine stood up. "You're afraid to connect with people because you're scared of being abandoned again. And you thought separating a mother from her child would teach me something. I thought seeing the desperation of an abandoned child would finally make you understand what Madison feels when you neglect her." Christine began to cry. "I wanted you to realize you're doing to our daughter what was done to you." Michael stayed silent, processing her words. As wrong as her method was, Christine had touched a real wound. "So you used an innocent family to teach me a lesson?" he asked. "I never meant to hurt anyone." Christine defended herself. "I was going to return the money. I just wanted her to be away from her daughter for a few hours so you'd understand." "Understand what, Christine?" "That I'm a terrible father." Michael felt anger rising. "You've told me that hundreds of times." "But you never listened to me," Christine shouted. "You never noticed Madison is suffering, that she just wants her father's attention. And you thought traumatizing an innocent child would solve our problems." Michael shook his head. "Christine, what you did was cruel and illegal." "I know," she whispered, "and I regret it." But it worked, didn't it? You spent more time with Madison yesterday than in the last 2 months. Michael couldn't deny it was true. Seeing Emily and Jennifer together, he had realized how much of Madison's childhood he was missing. "Where's Jennifer's money?" he asked. "Here." Christine pointed to an envelope on the table. "I never intended to keep it." Michael took the envelope and checked. The $2,000 were there. "Christine, what you did was a crime. Jennifer could sue you," he said. "I know, and if she wants to, I'll accept the consequences." Christine wiped her eyes. "But Michael, please don't let our war hurt more innocent people." Michael left Christine's house with Madison and the money, feeling confused. On one hand, he was furious at his ex-wife for using Jennifer and Emily as pawns in a game. On the other, he couldn't deny her lesson had worked. Back at the apartment, Michael found Emily and Jennifer having dinner in the kitchen. They had prepared a simple meal, but the homely smell filled the space with a sense of family he hadn't felt in years. "Dad!" Madison ran to hug Emily. "I brought my game so we can play." "Michael, did you find out anything?" Jennifer asked anxiously. Michael handed her the envelope with the money. "Your money was here," he said. Jennifer opened it and was moved to see it all there. "How did you get it?" she asked. Michael told her the whole truth about Christine, from the scam to the reasons behind it. Jennifer listened silently, her expression shifting between anger and understanding. "So your ex-wife used our situation to teach you a lesson about fatherhood?" she asked when he finished. "Unfortunately, yes," Michael confirmed. "Jennifer, I'm so sorry you got dragged into this. If you want to sue her, I'll support you." Jennifer stayed quiet for a long moment, watching the two girls playing in the living room. "Michael, can I ask you something?" she finally said. "Of course." "Did the lesson work?" she asked. "Did you really understand what your ex-wife was trying to teach you?" Michael thought honestly about the question. "Yes," he admitted. "I realized I've been neglecting Madison. And I see now that my fear of connecting with people is making me miss life's most important moments. So in a strange way, something good came out of this awful situation." Jennifer sighed. "I'm still furious at what she did, but I also understand a mother's desperation to protect her daughter. You won't sue her?" "I don't know yet," Jennifer was honest. "I need to process all this first." That night, the two families had dinner together. Michael watched their interactions and noticed how much livelier and more present Madison was with Emily to play with. The two girls had formed a genuine friendship in no time. "Dad, can Emily be my adopted sister?" Madison suddenly asked. "Madison," Emily laughed, "people don't just adopt sisters like that." "But it'd be cool if we were real sisters," Madison insisted. Michael and Jennifer exchanged glances across the table. There was something unspoken there, a connection forming between the two families. Later, after the girls went to sleep in the guest room, Michael and Jennifer stayed talking in the living room. "Michael, can I thank you for everything you've done for us?" Jennifer said. "Even after finding out it was your ex-wife who caused this whole situation, you kept helping us." "Jennifer, I'm the one who should be thanking you," Michael replied. "You showed me things about myself that I'd been denying for years." "What do you mean?" "Seeing you take care of Emily with so much love, even through hardships, made me realize I'd been using work as an excuse not to get emotionally involved with Madison." Michael paused by the window. "I'm afraid to connect deeply with people because I suffered so much as a child. But now you see it. That's the first step to changing." Jennifer moved closer. "Michael, can I tell you something?" "Of course. You're a good man. What you did for us, even as strangers, shows who you really are." She touched his arm. "Madison is lucky to have a father like you, even if he's still learning how to show it." Michael felt a strange emotion rising in his chest. How long had it been since he'd heard genuine words of encouragement from someone? "Jennifer, can I make you an offer?" he said. "What kind of offer?" "How would you like to come work at my company?" Michael suggested. "Not out of pity or charity, but because I saw today how smart and dedicated you are. I can offer you an administrative assistant position with a salary that'll let you take good care of Emily." "Michael, Jennifer seemed at a loss for words. "That would be amazing, but are you sure? I only have a high school diploma." "You have something more important, honesty and determination." Michael smiled. And Emily could go to a school near the office. Madison attends the same network. The girls could go to school together, Jennifer asked excitedly. If they want to. Jennifer started crying, but this time from joy. Michael, I don't know how to thank you, she said. No need to thank me. We're the ones benefiting from this, Michael replied. A company runs better when people care about each other, and you taught me that. The next day, Michael talked to Madison about the possibility of Emily attending the same school. Really, Dad? Madison was beaming. Emily will be my classmate? If she wants to, yes, Michael confirmed. What do you think? I think it'll be the best thing ever. Madison jumped for joy. I'll finally have a real friend at school. Michael realized Madison had been feeling lonely at school, another thing he'd neglected by always focusing on work. Madison, can I promise you something? He said. What? From now on, I'll be more present in your life. We'll do things together, talk more, and I'll get to know your friends and activities better. Really, Dad? Madison hugged him tightly. That's all I wanted. I know, sweetheart, and I'm sorry it took me so long to understand. Emily appeared in the living room, already dressed for the day. Uncle Michael, Mom said I might be able to go to Madison's school, she said shyly. Is it true? It's true, Michael confirmed. Would you girls like that? So much. Both girls answered together, then laughed at the coincidence. Michael watched their joy and felt he was making the right decision. Somehow these two families complemented each other. Over the following days, Michael arranged everything for Jennifer to start working at the company. She proved to be extremely capable and dedicated, quickly learning her responsibilities and fitting in well with the team. Emily adjusted perfectly to the new school, and Madison finally had a close friend. The two were inseparable, studying together and spending afternoons at Michael's apartment or Christine's house. Christine, for her part, had shown genuine remorse. She formally apologized to Jennifer and offered to help however she could to make up for the harm she'd caused. Jennifer, I know what I did was unforgivable, said Christine during a meeting Michael had arranged. But I want you to know I never truly meant to hurt you or Emily. Christine, what you did was very serious, Jennifer replied. But seeing how everything turned out and understanding your reasons, I choose to forgive you. Are you sure? Christine asked, surprised. I am, because holding on to resentment will only hurt me. Jennifer looked at the girls playing. And because, in a strange way, your actions brought good things into our lives. Michael watched the conversation between the two women and noticed how Jennifer had an emotional wisdom he admired. She had chosen forgiveness even after being deeply wronged. A month after that first rainy night, Michael organized a special dinner at his apartment. Present were Jennifer with Emily, Madison, and even Christine, who had been invited for a family reconciliation. I'd like to make a toast, Michael said, raising his glass. Sometimes life puts us in difficult situations to teach us important lessons. What do you mean, Dad? Madison asked. A month ago, I was a man who lived only for work, afraid to connect with people. Michael looked at everyone at the table. Today, I understand that family isn't just about blood. Family is who we choose to walk beside us. Does that mean Emily is my sister in heart? Madison asked. If you both want that, yes, Michael smiled. We do, the two girls answered together. Jennifer wiped away a tear, moved by the moment. Michael, you've completely changed our lives, she said. Emily now has opportunities I could never have given her alone. And you've changed my life too, Michael replied. You've taught me that professional success means nothing if we don't have people to share it with. What about me? Christine asked timidly. Do I still have a place in this unusual family you've created? Michael looked at Madison, who nodded. Christine, what you did was wrong, but you're Madison's mother, he said. You'll always have your place. We just hope next time, if you have something to teach me, you'll use less drastic methods. I promise, Christine smiled through her tears. During dinner, Michael announced another decision he had made. I've decided to restructure my company, he said. I'll hire more people and delegate more responsibilities so I can have more time for the things that truly matter in life. What kind of things? Emily asked. Like helping you with homework, watching Madison's school performances, and maybe even teaching both of you to drive when you're older, Michael laughed. Really, you'll teach us to drive? Madison was excited. In a few years, yes, Michael confirmed. And who knows, maybe we'll even buy a house with a yard, so you two have more space to play. A house for all of us? Emily asked. Michael looked at Jennifer, who blushed slightly. We don't know yet what the future holds, he said, but I know I want you all to be part of it. Jennifer smiled, and Michael realized there was something more than friendship growing between them. It wasn't rushed, but a genuine connection built on mutual respect and shared values. 2 weeks later, Michael had to travel for work for the first time since meeting Jennifer and Emily. But this time it was different. Dad, when are you coming back? Madison asked at the airport. In 3 days, Michael replied, and when I get back, we'll take that trip to the zoo you both wanted. Promise? Emily asked. I promise, Michael hugged her, and I'll call every day to hear about school. Uncle Michael, Emily said softly, thank you for stopping that day in the rain. Thank you for letting me help, Michael replied, moved. During the business trip, Michael found himself calling home several times a day, wanting to know every detail about the girls' day. Jennifer always answered patiently, sharing stories of their mischief, homework, and the little everyday moments. Michael, are you okay? She asked during one of the calls. You seem different. I'm great, he replied. I was just thinking this is the first trip where I've actually missed home. That's because now you have a real home waiting for you, Jennifer said softly. When Michael returned from the trip, he found the apartment decorated with drawings the girls had made for him. There were flowers on the table, the smell of home-cooked food in the air, and a sense that the space had transformed from an empty house into a home full of life. Welcome back, Madison and Emily shouted together as he walked in. It's good to be home, Michael said, and for the first time in years, he truly felt like he had a home. That night, after the girls went to sleep, Michael and Jennifer talked in the living room. Jennifer, can I tell you something? He said. Of course. I think I'm falling in love with you, Michael said simply. Jennifer smiled, but there was seriousness in her eyes. Michael, are you sure you're not confusing gratitude with love? She asked. We've been through so much together in such a short time. That's a fair question, Michael thought. But no, it's not gratitude. It's the way you care for Emily, how you treated Madison from day one, how you forgave Christine even after she hurt you. It's your strength, your wisdom, your kindness. Michael. Jennifer seemed moved. I'm not asking for an answer now, he continued. I just wanted you to know. And I wanted to say that no matter what happens between us, you'll always have a place in my life and in Madison's. Thank you for being honest. Jennifer touched his hand. And to be honest, too, I've been feeling something for you as well. But you're right, we need time to be sure. Take all the time you need, Michael replied. 6 months after that first rainy night, the two families had truly become one. Michael had bought a spacious house with a big backyard where the girls could play. Emily was excelling in school, and her heart condition was well managed with the regular medical care they could now afford. Madison had grown more confident and happy, knowing she had her father's love and attention. Jennifer had been promoted at work, showing a natural talent for management. She and Michael worked well together, both professionally and personally. Christine had become a regular and welcome presence in the house, especially on weekends when Madison stayed with her. The relationship between everyone had matured into something healthy and functional. One Sunday afternoon, Michael was in the backyard, watching the girls play, when Jennifer sat beside him. Michael, remember what you said about life, sometimes putting us in difficult situations to teach us important lessons, she asked. I do. I've been thinking about that. If Christine hadn't done what she did, if you hadn't stopped in the rain that day, our lives would have taken completely different paths. Jennifer watched as Emily taught Madison how to make a beaded bracelet. That's true, Michael agreed. I'd probably still be working 16-hour days. Madison would have grown up feeling neglected, and you'd still be struggling alone. So, in a strange way, we should be grateful for that rainy day. Jennifer smiled. And for Christine too, no matter how wrong her methods were, Michael added. Michael, Jennifer turned to face him, about that conversation we had a few months ago. Yes? I had time to think, to observe, to be sure of my feelings. She took a deep breath. And I can say with certainty that I love you. Not out of gratitude, not out of convenience, but because you are a man of integrity, kindness, and someone who made a point of growing as a person. Michael felt his heart race. Jennifer, are you sure? Absolutely, she smiled. And you? I've never been so sure of anything in my life. Michael kissed her gently. The girls, who had been discreetly watching, began to clap and cheer with joy. Finally, Madison shouted. Now we'll be a real family. We already were a family, Michael said, hugging Jennifer. We just needed to make it official. Uncle Michael is going to be my stepdad? Emily asked. If you want, Michael replied. I do. Emily ran to hug them. And Madison will be my real sister, she continued. Forever, Madison promised. A year later, Michael and Jennifer married in a small, intimate ceremony with only close family and special friends. Madison was the maid of honor, and Emily was the flower girl. Christine was there, happy to see her daughter glowing and to have maintained a healthy relationship with everyone. During the reception, Michael gave an emotional speech. 2 years ago, I was a lost man who believed success was only measured by money in the bank, he said, holding Jennifer's hand. Today, I know true wealth is in this room, with the people we choose to love. Jennifer taught me that love isn't just a feeling. It's a daily choice to care, to nurture, to be present. Emily showed me that hope and joy can exist even in the toughest situations. Madison taught me it's never too late to be a better father. And even Christine, with her questionable methods, taught me that sometimes we need a shake to wake up to what truly matters. Michael smiled at his ex-wife. So today, I celebrate not just my marriage to Jennifer, but the birth of a family built on love, forgiveness, and second chances. Everyone applauded, many with tears in their eyes. Later, as the party wound down, Emily approached Michael. Dad, Michael, she said for the first time, can I tell you a secret? Of course, sweetheart. That day in the rain when you stopped the car, I was scared at first, she confessed. But then I saw your eyes, and they were kind. I knew you were a good person. And you were right, Michael hugged her, even when I didn't know it myself. Thank you for saving me that day, Emily whispered. Thank you for saving me too, Michael replied, moved. End of story. So, dear listeners, what did you think of this story of transformation and family? Do you believe Michael made the right choices in helping Jennifer and Emily? And what do you think about Jennifer forgiving Christine, even after all she'd been through? Share your honest thoughts in the comments about this journey of love, forgiveness, and second chances. If the story touched your heart, don't forget to like and, most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other heartfelt stories like this one.